Sony. I cannot say it enough. And the reason that is, not just because I'm sat in front of you, is because it just works.
We call it a story that we talk about, which is like our lens to living room. In the US, they call it.
You mentioned that before.
Camera to couch.
How's Sony suffered with supply chain? Has there been knock-on effects? Are you still feeling the pinch?
The installations that you guys are, that's the wow factor. You know, we just provide you with a piece of the technology to make that dream for someone come true.
Yeah, it's essentially on par with our bravia input lag time. So if you enjoy playing PlayStation on a bravia, you're going to enjoy it on a projector, which we couldn't say confidently a few years back.
Yeah, we make a huge amount of different components. I would not even know where to start with any of these. But
likewise,
I know
but that's microchips
we do.
Is what's short at the minute. So
We make stuff.
We make a lot of stuff.
Hi guys, Rich from Outsmart. Welcome back to another episode of podcast. Now, this one is a very exciting one. We're down here at Sony Europe in Surrey. We've been having a look at some of their new solutions, such as their TV displays, projectors, and a brand new video wall they've brought out. All these cool products are actually headed up by a team who I've got two of the members joining me here today from the Professional Displays and Solutions Group. So, guys, why don't you introduce yourselves?
Hi, Rich, Adam, Dover from Sony. So I'm a trade and segment marketing manager here. So looking after both all of our B2B marketing and the home cinema stuff, which is what we're here today to see.
That's pretty cool, dealing with home cinemas every day.
You can't knock that. Yeah, it's pretty good. You have to pinch yourself sometimes, some of the stuff we see. So,
like literally, the thing we're going to talk about is something outside. You literally do have to pinch yourself when you see that. You walk in there and you're like, and the quality of it, you're like, this cannot be real. But that little bit of a teaser for those watching, you are going to see it. Believe me, it's going to be impressive. How about yourself, sir?
So I am Yadev Tailor. I am channel account manager, so looking after home cinema for the UK and Nordics. And yeah, echo what Adam said. It's definitely one of the more exciting segments of Sony. Yeah, loving it. We have some really great products in the lineup and some exciting things for FY22.
Yeah, I will echo that. I've got some very exciting things. So, I mean, for you guys, you are literally on the forefront of the technology in the home projector, home cinema market, in obviously displays. Do you working across both residential and commercial?
Yeah, both commercial and residential. Yeah, so for me, marketing-wise, we cover all the B2B elements. We've got huge portfolio of products from the bravias, which have been kind of transformed into professional displays. So they go into kind of corporate, education, retail, hospitality, you name it. And we've got also professional projectors, so our B2B units, which can go into a lot of education, business, meeting rooms, like you see around the building today. But we've also got some really cool solutions. So we've got some more kind of solutions for, again, more commercial based, like our TEOS solution, which is kind of like a complete workspace, a workplace control solution, which is AV over IP. So you can control, manage, schedule all of the devices in a building, and control them from a simultaneous location. We've got the room booking. We've got all of the kind of in-room solutions, like the mirroring solutions, sensors. You name it, we do it.
So loads of stuff I didn't even know about, because obviously we just focus on the resi market. So we kind of exclusively do kind of smart homes, home cinemas.
Yeah.
I mean, we get so many clients asking us to do, once we've done the house, can you do our office as well? Can you come do our boardroom?
We see a lot of that.
Yeah, but we don't. And the reason for that is I just like to focus on something and do it very, very well. And as part of doing that, and as part of us, kind of offering to our customers, which again, is very much why we're here today, Sony. I cannot say it enough. And the reason that is, not just because I'm sat in front of you, is because it just works. But aside from just working, the quality is unbelievable, especially with kind of these new range of chips that are kind of filtering through. Now, the image quality is just on another planet. It's incredible. And for us, obviously the main focus around what we do is control farm and smart homes and integration. And literally in Sony, you've got the menus through the Sony menus, and you can turn on the control 4 option.
Yeah.
So for kind of Sony to have that built into the TVs kind of shows for you as a solutions provider, how important that relationship is, because it's built in.
Yeah, so the residential segment is a real key focus for our business division, and we've got a specific team that looks after the residential group across Europe because we're a European-based company, and this market's been growing year after year. And one thing that I think we're seeing a lot more of, which you'll probably tell us, is that I think people are becoming a lot more aware of kind of what they can get in terms of AV and home entertainment. So, and not only just kind of buying it from a store now, but more people are coming to guys like you, like, guys, what is the best thing that I can transform this room to do? And, that can be control, that can be lighting, that can be need some new audio, need TV, but also, then the conversation's coming about, have you thought about cinemas? Have you thought about putting a projector in that big screen experience? And over the last few years, I think people have become much more aware of that with COVID, spending more time at home and, just invest in it differently.
Yeah, definitely. I echo that point. I think for residential segment, especially, home audio visual is not just, or I guess what it was 5 years ago. It's moved on leaps and bounds.
And I'd say it has moved leaps and bounds, not just because of the technology, because of the whole COVID situation. Like I've seen since then, I mean, COVID, I know it affected a lot of businesses differently, but for us during that period, our inquiries are through the roof, because what you're finding is people weren't necessarily being able to get out on their several luxury holidays a year.
Yeah.
We're able to get out and go buy that new car.
Yeah, I agree.
They're realizing that they're having to spend a lot more time at home. When I am at home, I want to have nice things at home. I mean, probably already had nice things, but nicer things at home. And we're looking at ways where they could spend money. I watch this TV every day. I've completed Netflix during lockdown. I'm looking at a better thing. And you guys have noticed a bit of a change in the trend as well, haven't you? From obviously the home cinema rooms, but kind of multifunction spaces.
Yeah.
So doing that in there.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, I think absolutely on that point. And I think for us and the new range of home projectors that we've seen today, that's definitely been at the forefront of our mind in terms of development. A lot of the kind of features that we've tried to implement have been focused on that. I know we were obviously talking previously about that term media room, but it is a thing now. And obviously the scalability of that term media room and indeed cinema room is so vast, and the spread is so huge that home projectors now have to be very, very capable, very accessible. And I feel like these models really tick those boxes.
Definitely. So we're going to go through the new models very, very shortly. But before that, we'll go through the old models and kind of the range and price points. So Sony, for us as a business, I mentioned it before, I'm going to mention it again, and just to really reiterate this, but it's our go-to. A, because it just works. B, because of the quality. And when I'm selling a solution to a customer, a premium solution, it needs to work premium. It needs to behave premium. So even if it was a more entry-level solution, so we had the 290, which kind of sat about 4K retail, and then you have a model that jumps up a couple of £1,000 up to like the 790.
Yep.
And then from there, we take some quite larger incremental jumps.
Yeah.
Because I think this is the thing people don't fully realize with home cinema. It is one of those you mentioned then, how long is a piece of string question? And what you've done with your lineup is you've catered for every market. So rather than just being, no, we are Sony and we only do the best of the best, you have the best of the best, but you have a best in class for the more entry level rooms.
Yeah. We've generally got like a projector for every application as well. So from that 290, you start at 1500 lumens, it's lamp based, and then you can go right the way up to 10,000 lumens with our GTZ 380, which is that's our flagship unit with the flagship optics, flagship lens.
Which the damage on that is?
That's around 80k without the lens.
Yeah,
so
without the lens. So add another 20 for that. So you're about 100k for that model.
It's a beast, yeah.
And again, because somebody could spend 100k in a room. I mean, they could spend 30k in a room. And that's the thing with the home cinema market. People just either don't know, don't appreciate. I mean, the level of technology is how far do you want to go? How big is the budget?
But exactly that. We're talking specifically about GTZ 380, that product on its own has the capability to do a very high-end home cinema all the way up to a very big commercial auditorium just in one product. So, scalability is something that we have to be aware of and indeed cater for.
Yeah, so crossing across markets with the same product.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, that we use that model in a lot of planetariums. And you can imagine. Everything Sony does is all about image quality and the performance of the units. For a planetarium, for example, if you're showing the stars on the ceiling, you need deep blacks. You need, and that's the thing.
That's the hardest thing to create with a projector.
And it's delivering that kind of quality. And with that unit as well, you can configure it. You can go down to like 10% brightness. So depending, you wouldn't want 10,000 lumens all the time, depending on your space. But you can say, actually, this room I only need 60%, so I'm going to tone it down and get the best picture of that for the environment as well. And that's the most important thing, is that we make these units that are not only integration-wise easy for you guys to install, set up on the systems and everything, but that they cater for the applications that you need them to do as well. Because no two rooms are the same, are they? Oh, you know better than we do.
Well, there isn't. Yeah, very, very rarely you do. I mean, I say a lot of our jobs are same but different, because you could have exactly the same size room, but with a completely different budget. So in that same room, you could do very, very different things with a very different budget, and ultimately it depends what people want to spend and what performance level they're looking for. They just want to kick back and watch. Are the kids going to be watching a few movies, Peppa Pig in there? Cool. This solution to do. Is it high class movies? Are they watching Blu-rays? Are they avid movies fan?
Or is it a gaming room?
Gaming room, because
exactly.
The gaming stuff at the minute is so popular, and new models of projectors are cater for that even more.
Yeah, they are. Well, again, as Sony, we're quite a deep portfolio we've got. So we've got, we call it a story that we talk about, which is like our lens to living room. In the US, they call it.
You mentioned that before.
Camera to couch.
Camera to couch. No, but it's awesome because it literally is lens to living room, because Sony, 94,000 employees around the world you've got, which is like, it is mind blowing to think that many people work for one company. But because you're doing it from literally, you're making the movies, Sony Picture, you're going to know quite far better. Top.
Well, yeah,
what's the full Sony journey?
So we've got, Sony Pictures and a load of content creation studios that are actually, out there creating content. It's filmed on a Sony camera. It'd be that one of our kind of like cinematography cameras, like a Venice camera. It's then graded on BVM, one of our BVM grading monitors, and a lot of the studios use those as kind of standard reference monitors, because they're such a high performance unit for getting the best color accuracy and performance when they're grading. And that's eventually then transpires through to when you're watching it on a home cinema projector, on a Bravia, or on one of the crystal LED displays. You are getting the very best image, but most importantly, the most accurate image, because directors spend and their team spend huge amounts of time grading content, making sure that every element of what that frame is color-wise is exactly how they feel that it should look to best portray that film. And if you're not displaying that how they want it displayed, that's not a true reflection of that movie, that film, that TV show, anything. So
I think there's a lot of push, I guess, outside of Sony in terms of producing the brightest image or the most colorful image. And I think for us, it's just about, like Adam was saying, delivering the true image from all the way through the different stages of getting that picture to you, essentially.
Yeah, picture quality and picture performance is that's the most important thing to us. And obviously, some people talk about Sony as a more premium brand. We're just a brand, but if you want the best quality, you pay a bit more. It is what it is with that. It's one of those things that we try and make accessible to everyone as well, because it's cost competitive. But with these new units of projection, one thing we've tried to do is we have that flagship technology, but what we try and do is develop over the years to make that technology bring it down through the models and through the range, so that you have that exceptional image performance in our entry level models.
Yeah, which actually brings on perfectly to what we've seen today. So 3 years ago, ISC, which for those who don't know what ISC is Integrated Systems Europe. It's a trade show. It used to be in Amsterdam. It's now just moved to Barcelona because it needed a larger space. But it's basically a smart trade show for the audiovisual industry and professionals from around the world. It literally has hundreds of thousands of visitors. So we've actually first met yourself there 3 years ago, and we got invited to the main show floor. We got invited to little hidden room upstairs out the way, signed a non-disclosure agreement, and got introduced to your absolute top flagship model, which is about £100,000 unit. Now, the chips and the technology in that specific unit there 3 years ago is now filtered down into what you've just brought out your new range.
Yeah, exactly. So in those models, we've got the all about the technology from the Bravias is all about the X1 chipsets or the X chipsets. So in the latest Bravia models now, I think they've got the XR chipsets. But we have to develop specific chipsets for projection because the technology is very different for grading and showing the on-screen image for projection and on a panel. So in these ones, in previous years, we've had the X1 for projector chipset, but in that flagship unit was the X1 Ultimate for projector. And that really is kind of like the top end of picture processing, and that gets you all of the things you want to see in an image in terms of performance and HDR and everything. And now, previously that was only in the GTZ, and that is now in both of the new units that we've launched. So you are getting the very best picture processing that you can get in these new projectors.
Yeah. So the new projectors, let's talk about the new models, right? Because when we went into the demo room and had a look at those this morning, granted, there was an ambient light projection screen, but even though the brightness levels in that room were up, the image was out of this world. And then because you've shown us two models, you've shown us like your new entry level and then one a little bit further up the market. And then we saw the first one. I was like, oh, so is that the more expensive one? You're like, no, Rich, that is our new entry level unit.
That's not where it starts.
That's where it starts. And what is that? That was 6,000 retail.
Yes,
so it's
correct.
cheaper than your existing laser. And I believe you've made a bold move in terms of lamp lasers. And where's that at? Oh, for those who don't know, what's the difference between putting a lamp and a laser and a projector? Let's take it real simple.
I mean, traditionally, projection has always been lamp-based, but we were the first to do laser projection years ago, and that's kind of now transpired. We started in our B2B division, but now it's transpired to all of our home cinema projectors. And essentially, it's just the different way of getting the brightness on the screen and getting the image there. And laser projector, I mean, lamp projection for years has been, is very, very good. But you do get more benefits with laser in the sense that, there's no lamp changes every several thousand hours.
Filter changes.
Yeah, you've
Don't have
got
to worry about filters and all that sort of
filters and
stuff.
things, color consistency over that time, because, naturally with a lamp, that color or that performance is going to slightly degrade the longer you use it. But with laser, it's a slower, more consistent degradation over 20,000 hours. And down to 20,000 hours, it's only 50% brightness at the end of it as well. So you still, 20,000 hours, that is watching a movie all day, every day for like
many years.
Yeah,
Long
for a long time.
Yeah.
Someone did do the maths.
Someone get the stats up.
So from an installer's point of view, I'll break that down slightly. So when we install a projector for a customer, we put it in, it's going to have, it comes with a lamp in it. But after 2,000 hours, and usually as a good installer, we will actually put a line of programming code in the software. That at 2,000 hours of use, because the driver that's written into Control 4 can tell us when it's at 2,000, that will ping our service department an email, and then we can arrange a replacement lamp. Now, what happens after 2,000 hours is the projector doesn't just go...
No, it doesn't stop.
It doesn't just switch off and die. It will continue to work, but the image that you see on the screen, like I say, will become degraded and a bit washed out, and it won't have the true quality.
It won't pop like it used to. Yeah,
exactly that. Now, the difference is with a laser, instead of your 2,000 hours, you're getting 20,000 hours. So for that projector, you're getting 10 times, literally 10 times, the life out of the same projector. We've got the maths. 833 days. So 24 hours a day for 833 days is what you're going to get out of a laser projector.
It's a 50% brightness.
And then it'll only drop to 50% brightness. So whereas a lamp, I would say probably about 20, 30. Well, it generally get worse and worse and worse, but on yours, it'll drop to 50-ish brightness. So the value for money that represents versus product A, product B is incredible. So basically what you decided to do is go, them lamp projectors, we ain't doing them anymore. And just focusing on laser.
Well, it's just the technology over time. As when it comes to home cinema projection, we consider ourselves, one of the industry leaders in that. And it's all about bringing that next gen technology for the end users to enjoy, and that's the most important thing, is bringing that. But with the laser, also you have some other benefits in terms of sustainability as well, because in lamps there's mercury, so there's none of that in laser. So all adds up to
simplicity as well, a lot less cooling, and also from a
quieter.
A lot quieter. Again, going back to that multiple application point we were discussing, but I think also another great positive is that quick on and off. I think with lamp there is a warm up phase that you have to consider. Laser's so much quicker.
There is, and sometimes when you turn it on, especially when you're using lamps, we've got two kind of demonstrations we can use. When we put the projector on, because it is a lamp, you've got like 60 to 90 seconds,
which is long when you're just sitting there going
like you wouldn't even know. Seconds when you're watching seconds in front of you, that is a long time. Is 60 to 90 seconds. So you've kind of got
90 seconds of not knowing what to watch on Netflix.
Yeah. Whereas the laser, bang, is literally turn it on, the image is there. And especially with things like switching sources or switching content, it's then going to react a lot faster. And we mentioned it briefly before, but the refresh rate, so for things like gaming, it's responding a lot faster.
Yeah, these units have got better input lag. So I think in the previous models it was 27 milliseconds, 4K 60. These new models are 21 milliseconds at 4K 60, but we can also do HD 120 at 13 milliseconds. So I mean, for gaming, if you want to get the best lap times on Gran Turismo or any of these first-person shooters like Call of Duty, it's you're going to be not missing out.
Yeah, it's essentially on par with our Bravia input lag time. So if you enjoy playing PlayStation on a Bravia, you're going to enjoy it on a projector, which we couldn't say confidently a few years back, just because of how far technology's moved on in terms of projector.
No, for sure. And there we talked end to end, didn't we? We talked talked about from camera to the couch. But you meant consoles as well, of course, because there's the Sony PlayStation.
Yep.
So
if you can get hold of one.
Yeah.
Literally, don't we?
They're very popular.
We had to go black market for ours. Literally, we paid well through the odds. So we obviously got a cinema room at our office. And because I want our office to be a place where people enjoy to work, enjoy to be, or for like customers to show them what's available. So we decided, I mean, I don't even play games myself. I ain't got time to play games. Don't even watch telly. But true story. True story. If a guy effectively fits TVs and cinema rooms for a living, I do not watch TV. I ain't got time to sit down and watch films. But in our cinema room at the office, like my team can use it as and when they please. I mean, it's been used a little bit here and there. But when we put the PlayStation in, that was it. We lost the media team for 3 days.
Productivity went through the floor.
Yeah. Literally, it didn't matter, but they're having the time of their lives. Mate, the cinema room's amazing. You didn't care about it last week.
Yeah.
Literally legit. So yeah, literally all completely works together. Now we have a little bit more the upper model. So what were the two model names, the model numbers? And the two new ones?
So our new entry level is the XW. Sorry, we should have mentioned that. So the new generation of home projectors are kind of prefixed with XW.
XW instead of VW?
Exactly that, yeah. So the two new models launch are XW5000, which is our 6K 4K native 4K laser projector. And then we have the XW7000, which is the step up at 15K. So yeah.
But that's really good because your lasers in the last range started at 15K. They're like 12 to 15K. Obviously, as time went on.
It's a significant drop for that technology. Yeah.
I have to almost best part of a third. So, and talking of making things different sizes, percentages, the casing smaller. So it's actually 30% smaller than its predecessor with a nicer design.
Exactly.
I'm sure the guys are panning to some very sexy B-roll right now of this new casing. But that's partly not just because it's designed to go in cinema rooms, but you as a business, as a brand, are really noticing that change for the kind of multifunction spaces and rooms, and you realise it's may permanently be on display.
Yeah, exactly that. So as part of using a smaller panel, obviously that's meant that the overall casing size has been able to reduce by, I think it's around 30%, and also weight. I think the new units are about 40 to 50% lighter than the previous generation. So just a lot cleaner design. There is also like a sustainability message as well, using a lot less plastic, a lot less packaging, a lot less power consumption. I think it's 30% less power per lumen than our previous laser generation models. So with the increased cost of electricity, it's something that people are aware of. And it's not necessarily going to drive ultimate decisions, but it's a nice message to have. And if you are concerned about that side of it,
I think everybody needs to have some kind of message with things like that in this day and age. And if you seem to be doing nothing, then in fact, just that does actually influence people's decision. Yes, maybe spending 100 grand on a projector, but it's the cardboard recyclable.
Yeah, exactly.
And it is.
That's probably the question you get most, right?
Yeah. Is there any single-use plastic in this box? Not anymore, there's not. No. Obviously, we recycle everything anyway. Responsible installers. But, I mean, for some reason, somebody doesn't want a projector. They don't want a screen on the wall. You've obviously got your TV range, but there's something new that we've seen today in the TV range as well, which is a first for Sony, bringing this size of display into it.
Yeah, I mean, we've had them in the past, but they've typically been very expensive. I think in a couple of years ago we had the 98-inch 8K model, but I think the retail on that was maybe 65,000. So
65,000 for a TV.
Yes.
Yeah.
Quite
punchy.
So it probably didn't sell many. I'm sure there was a market for it.
There's a very strong market for it out there, but I mean, it's not one of those that's accessible to all. But you know, and it's not to say this one's not expensive. I mean, you kind of become desensitized in this industry to.
Yeah, you do. Literally, you do. Like, oh yeah, that's £300. Is that it?
Yeah.
Is that it?
Sadly, I don't have a home cinema projector at home.
Yeah. Well, you don't manage to angle a freebie?
No. I wish. No. We're on the list, aren't we? We're on the list.
We are on the list for the new ones, but Chris keeps telling us we're very, very far down the list. So,
it's all right, man. When I was seeing Chris before, we had a box in the warehouse, because literally these projectors are these hot off the press. They don't even have retail packaging yet. These are literally demo units. Exactly, and the demo units we saw this morning, and I filmed the YouTube video, it'll be in the comments or something, but the video that we filmed this morning, literally no sooner as we put the cameras down, they went back in a box. Yeah. They've gone to your goods out area, and they're going on a truck over to Barcelona to ISE for this year.
Yeah, they're going on holiday.
Yeah, they're going on holiday. We literally only have three kind of sets, so 6 units in total across the whole of Europe right now. So they're hot property.
Literally,
trying to get allocation on them is tough.
Yeah, I mean, on this box it said, what did it say? It said demonstration unit, not for resale. I said, well, that's fine, really, Chris. I mean, so if it's not for resale, I'm sure you could give me one. So we've loaded truck up. We haven't got any space for any camera equipment to go on, but I've got myself a new
truck's full, mate. Unlucky.
So we've got that. We've got the new TVs, and then for somebody who really wants to splash out, them.
Yeah, we've got the Crystal LED, which is a modular LED wall, which is completely scalable. So you can have it from any size, really, any size and configuration. You can have it in a 110. I'm going to get the inches wrong here. I'm going to get like 110, 147, 165, 187, 210. But you can go. We've got installations somewhere in the world that's 16 meters wide with these. So they are phenomenal. But again, it's not a cheap display solution, but its image quality is the best.
I honestly, right. When we went on sat in front of that, you probably even still now blown away by it. The image quality with that was mind blowing, like literally mind blowing. And even though you had a 4K TV sat in close proximity, which was great, even that still looked like another dimension. Yeah, and you actually seen it's not just been used for display now, is it? Like in the picture house scenario, that was a cool application. That
virtual production. So we've seen a lot more of these screens being used in those kind of cinema creation applications. So instead of having a green screen or going out to some location in Central America or something to film, you can have one of these LED walls bigger than the one you've even seen here, and you can stand in front of it and film that as a set, as a solution.
Yeah. Guys,
we're seeing that more and more often.
Just to clarify, we won't be seeing that at the office. Our green screen is going to stay as a green screen.
Disappointment on their faces.
Literally, they said, mate, can I get one of those? The answer is, in all honesty, as much as I love one, and again, can we say what the damage is on that one that we've got in reception there?
I think
roughly around 400K for that size. Yeah, but
I'll take 2.
No worries.
Done. You heard that, everyone.
It's on camera.
Sign here. That'd do your sales target. It's an absolute beauty, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we'll take the rest of the year off. I think.
So no, kind of, there's a product for everything really within your range in this place. And kind of obviously sat with me here now because we obviously do the home cinema stuff. But kind of, how are you seeing like route to market or the market per se? Because you kind of honing in on the CI sector, you've obviously been in it for a long time, but you've seen the importance of that kind of market and sector for your business.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think for me, obviously having a little bit of a background within CI, it's
what was the background? Not to name companies, but
I was with an integrator. I was just with an integrator for a bit of time. So for me, just understanding the industry and the sector as a whole, it just really stressed the importance of having reliability and all of the things that you would come to expect when
you've seen it from the coal face.
Exactly that. So and from the other side of the desk, I guess, kind of the pressure of delivering that complete solution is critical. And hats off to what you guys do, because it's no mean feat.
Yeah, we're just a piece of the puzzle with all of this.
We're a very small piece of your.
Oh, you're so humble and modest.
No, seriously, the installations that you guys are, that's the wow factor. We just provide you with a piece of the technology to make that dream for someone come true, because we do the projector, the display, but everything else that goes around it, there's tons. There's the audio, the control,
distribution,
lighting. I wouldn't know where to start with it, to be honest.
The thing is, the fact that you as a manufacturer of displays and working on behalf of the manufacturer, even just a few things that you reeled off there shows me how in touch you are with the market, rather than, just tell what I hate with displays, distributors, etc., is when it's just like hard sales, or when they've got a solution, a product, they don't know nothing about the market, and they're like, so we've got this, and it's going to be great for this because it's got this, and you're like, I don't even use that. We don't even use that. Whereas even before, when we looked at that specific display out there, which it's 100 inches, but as you said, it's not got a built-in tuner, but the way that you have your racks with video distribution, you're not even going to need that anyway.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Your market.
Yeah,
commendable.
Yeah, it's again, I think it's just adopting that solutions approach to what we do. Although in theory we are kind of supplying a product, it's about building our part of the solution that you then implement into your solution. Same with 100 inch. It's a great piece of a puzzle which can work really well, and it's accessible in terms of price, and hopefully ticks a lot of boxes. Same with obviously everything from bravia all the way up to C-LED. It's all hopefully been conceived with a solution in mind, not just going, well, we need a 42, a 43, a 55, and a 65. Yeah, it's like, we need IP control, and we need pro mode, and do you know what I mean? We try and think about all of the things that can help you guys.
Yeah. And I mean, for me, as like saying, as an integrator, the thing that works the best is the product just work with the system we choose to work with, which is obviously Control 4. And I said it before, there's literally a menu on the TV, go to it, bang, turn the Control 4 settings on, the software just finds it, the integration just works, and it's reliable. And I think for us, because there are different models of TVs, and again, if people are competing on cheapest price, well, I probably wouldn't be working with us anyway. But if they have, I would sometimes get a claim, I've got this TV from Tesco's. I sense it, literally just forget it. But like I said, on the other side of the coin of that, because we kind of champion Sony so much, and we've talked in so many like YouTube videos, because we've got like the YouTube channel where we do like walkthroughs on projects, and we're doing tech walkthrough, and I'm saying, we use Sony TVs because they work so reliably. How that then comes back full circle on us is we'll get an inquiry, and the client will say, watch YouTube video. Yeah, I've just seen you, so we'll get Sony TVs. Or even better still, we'll go in and do a project, and they'll be like, I had to get a couple of TVs in this house, which are probably going to move across, but I got all Sony because I saw a YouTube video.
Nice. Yeah.
You've done my job for me. Yeah, my job is done.
And I think just on the reliability front, I think one of the great benefits of our Pro Bravia range is the warranties that obviously those include. So it's kind of instant replacement. They're guaranteed for a set amount of hours. It's just a more robust kind of warranty and after sales package.
And that's the difference, because again, I suppose a lot of customers probably wouldn't even realise this, because, I mean, again, let's go back and be completely honest on stuff like TVs and consumer electronics per se. There's not huge margin in for both yourselves and for it. Just is what it is in that side of things on TV displays. Very competitive market. But say if a customer were to go buy a TV from John Lewis, they would get John Lewis's standard warranty or Sony standard warranty. However, buying it through a professional channel, they get additional things such as additional years warranty and also advanced replacements.
Yeah, exactly that. I think again, it's just about building that convenience factor for you guys. I think the CI sector is one that we really want to focus on, and it's about delivering an after sales package that works for you, not just the end user, because I presume that you offer your own care packages or maintenance packages, and it's about building something that can sit inside that, as part of our support offering.
Yeah, things like advanced replacement, rather than having to go take the TV off the wall, leave the customer with no TV.
Yeah.
Got a beautiful room with a big space and wires dangling. Then going back a few weeks, months later, depending on the current stock situation, with a new TV, bang, advanced replacement, same day swap, one in, one out, professional. Yeah. And that's the difference.
Exactly.
Professional service for professionals.
Yeah. There we go. Sony's new tagline. Here's me first. So we always kind of mentioned it briefly on the podcast because it kind of still is there whether you want it to be or not. But that's kind of whole the COVID, coronavirus, the whole supply chain issues, semiconductor shortages, which was actually something before I go on that I actually noticed with coming into the building that you make a lot of your own conductors.
Yeah, we make a huge amount of different components. I would not even know where to start with any of these, but
likewise,
I know
but that's microchips
we do
is
them,
what's short
yeah.
at the minute. So
We make stuff.
yeah,
we
everything.
make a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and that was the thing when we went through the projector before. You're like, yeah, so it's our lens, our electronics,
Yeah,
our
exactly that.
casing, our everything. It's everything is your technology. So you're not now. A lot of people don't know this, but say other TVs brands, certain things are components of other
Yeah, 100%.
manufacturers' stuff.
They'll cherry pick.
Yeah, the cherry picks of where your units, your projectors, your everything is yours, ground up, everything for the most part, probably. So with on that, how's Sony suffered with supply chain? Has there been knock-on effects? Are you still feeling the pinch?
So we actually have managed to sell through fairly unscathed. Yeah, obviously, kind of regarding the industry as a whole, we understand that there's been kind of challenges across the board. But yeah, for us, it's not been too much of a challenge up until very, very recently. So with the launch of the new XW series projectors, we were very kind of confident about our launch strategy and that we would have plenty of stock in order to commit to our orders. But unfortunately, Shanghai recently went into full lockdown, which means that obviously production has had to cease. All of the stock that was ready to go is now just being put on hold, and we can't get it out of Shanghai. So unfortunately, there are going to be some delays with these models. In terms of when they might land, it's still a bit of a finger in the air kind of situation. However, our latest estimations are around July for first deliveries into Europe.
So kind of for transparency, because again, this probably won't go out till after we've got stock of them. This will be a few months before this podcast goes out, but we are in April? Back
End of April.
End of April now. So you kind of expected around now for the launch, probably in time with ISE. This is when the launch to have stock ready to go. So that's in April, but now you're looking about July. So
around end of June, July.
Yeah,
is what the latest estimate is. But that is, again, we are at the mercy of other factors.
You can't stop a full country being shut down.
No, exactly.
I can't do anything
It's one
about
of those
that.
things,
But
unfortunately.
one thing I will say on your lead times, and this is actually from the distributor that we purchased them through, is they said out of all the distributors we work with, Sony are the most accurate and the most honest. So a lot of other manufacturers are saying, they're literally just throwing them a bone and giving them a day, like you said, finger in the air.
Pick a date, any day.
Literally, and then just letting them down. Whereas your dates are pretty bang on and they're pretty accurate. And if you're given a date by Sony, they know that's what they can promise the customer. Because again, things have a knock-on effect with relationships when these things aren't correct. And obviously somebody at Sony knows that and says to just tell the truth.
Yeah, well, honesty is best policy. There's no point making things up to say, oh, you're going to have it then just to get someone off your case. It's
because it's going to be back on your case twice.
It's going to be, it's going to be but I mean, in general, our supply chain do an incredible job of managing all that and keeping everyone well informed about when we're expecting product, when it's going to come through, and when it's going to land, and then when we can get that out to customers. Like Yadev said, it over the last few years, we've been quite lucky with our supply, and we've got, as you can imagine, this huge processes and planning in place to manage all of the supply on a 6 monthly
I
basis.
know how hard it is to plan stock and supply for my business, right? And I can't even imagine on a scale of planning something like Sony, because you're doing everything, you're not buying it in from planning. We're going to need these semiconductors and these circuit boards because in 12 months we have this projector coming out and it's going to rely on them.
Yeah.
That is a disgusting level of planning. Somebody's...
But we're quite lucky with that. But then again, that comes down to you guys as well, because you're working on projects and they're, you're not delivering those projects next week kind of thing. I mean, you could do, but most of the time you're planning those months in advance. And it's just that kind of letting us know when you need kit, and we'll make sure it's there for you when you need it.
I mean, for us, I always hate saying this, but the way that we've come out of the whole COVID thing has actually been great for us as a business in terms of planning. Now, for customers, what we say to a customer now, and we make this very well known knowledge, is that, say if we're doing your project, you need to allow us 12 weeks procurement. So what I mean by that is most stuff there or thereabouts. Yes, some stuff we're getting off the shelf tomorrow. Some stuff is 8 to 12 weeks away. So when our project goes live, we take a deposit, but then a lot of customers will say, can you begin material procurement now? And so there will be a lot of time at the minute now. We're getting paid 90% on projects at Word Go.
Yeah.
And then what that means is we've got warehouse facilities, and we keep all the stock as the stock comes in, sits on the shelf, updates our project management software, so that when that client's ready to move in, we've got everything and we deliver on the project. We've got all the kit, and it makes it so easy for planning stuff. So
we just don't want to be the reason projects are being held up, ideally.
No.
I think, from what we've seen from the CI sector, it's there's been challenges with various components, which have meant that entire projects have been put on hold. Exactly that. So forecasting is painful, but
you're doing a great job at it, because we've never had a problem with it with Sony stuff, and stock and stuff generally been great.
So it's never going to be perfect, but we'll do the best we can and be honest about it, because that's all we can do.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm calling you constantly for minute by minute updates, this is why, because Japan needs to know.
Rich, come on! I thought you had a project coming up. Come on! I've got to be in Shanghai. They want to know when you're ready for it. Yeah. Right then, boys, that's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks for your time today. Obviously, thanks for sitting down with us as an installer and discussing all the amazing products that you've got that we use on our projects. Now, do not forget that we're going to have a couple of videos, both on the projector solutions and also on the micro LED wall, and also the large display. Those probably will actually be in the description of these if you want to check those out. But aside from that, boys, thank you both very much. I hope I'm going to get an invite back soon to see the next range of products.
100%.
Yeah,
whenever that may be.
Yeah. I have to lead you to one of those back rooms again. Get you to sign your life
Careful,
away.
people start talking. Cheers, guys. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
Cheers.
Cheers.